from Sarah, and then we're going to hear from Vinny. And then if people have questions during and then certainly afterwards, we'll leave some time for Q&A. But I think what we're interested in hearing from you two people is when you left here, when you graduated, did you work part-time while you were here? Did you stay in that field? What did you do after graduation? And how you have progressed since then? And we're interested in your impressions, observations, opinions in your industries, pre-pandemic and post-pandemic, and how things were before the wheels came off, and then what you've done since then to put the wheels back on. So Sarah, you go first if you would, and I assume you're a local Memphian who graduated from here when?
I graduated August of 2018, actually. Am from Memphis, born and raised. Kind of grew up middle school, high school in Tipton County, a little bit right outside of Memphis. But moved here whenever I started the U of M in 2014. Worked in restaurants ever since I turned 16. Immediately got a job as a hostess at a little local restaurant. Moved my way up to serving there. Worked at another location out in Tipton County. Worked part-time. And then as I started, being a little bit more inundated in the college life and sorority life and all of that, I decided to get a job out here in Memphis and commit more full-time. So went and got a job at Southern Social, Dining and Hospitality. It's part of Flight Restaurant Group. That was back in January of 2017. So I started there as a server assistant, worked my way all the way up through all the positions, food running, well bartending, serving, did that until about November of 2017. And then that's whenever I started becoming a manager there. So I was doing my internship through all of that and was managing the restaurant while completing my degree at the University of Memphis. So it was a little stressful at first, but they did a great job with working with me with my school schedule and all of that. And so I was able to kind of do that part-time while I was finishing out my degree, and then switched over into full-time as soon as I graduated. So I learned a lot through all of that, balancing my school load with my workload and all that time management. And I learned a lot of things while working at Southern Social that helped me a lot with my classes and all of that as well. They taught me to always come prepared anytime I come to work with my attire, my mental attitude, all of that. I'm always being professional in everything that I do, the way that I speak to not only my guests, but the teammates at all times, kind of leaving all of the slang and things like that and your outside work outside. Whenever you come in, just always having that professional demeanor. And so that meant a lot to me to be able to learn that in a job where I thought I was just going to be going to serve tables. I ended up learning a lot more with all of that. It's all about the culture and everything. So that was really big. And then after I graduated going into full-time, I saw a need for more of a private dining coordinator within our restaurant. It was something that we are locally owned and, we had just kind of gotten off the ground. I started at the restaurant serving originally 3 months into opening. So it was a brand new restaurant and we were kind of learning how the dining areas would work, what we can do to accommodate our guests' needs. And being in Germantown, we needed somewhere to host bridal showers on Sunday morning for brunch and needed something for business meetings and pharmaceutical dinners and things like that of the nighttime. And being in Germantown, there really wasn't a great location for that. And so we decided to open up one of our little small dining areas in the restaurant to a little private dining area. So it was really nice to be able to work with the management team and the owners to kind of build that space to then where we ended up needing a private dining coordinator. So I kind of stepped into that role and helped with all of that. My position I did a little bit of everything with it. So private dining, I helped with the training with the greeters, mainly at the front door with reservations and just always being hospitable at all times and being professional and helping them grow and develop in that area as well. helped with all of the orientations and the training manuals, handbooks, things like that, making sure that everything was up to date with our standards and protocol. This industry, as everyone knows, is always changing constantly every single day. So just trying to stay up to date with that, but also knowing how to take care of your guests is extremely important. So we ended up moving into that and doing private dining with all of that, and it was really good. Something I did in college with my sorority was the event planner. So it was something that I knew I really had a passion for, and also had a passion for food and beverage. So kind of finding that area for me that really worked well to still be able to work on the floor as a manager in a restaurant, but also be able to kind of work my event skills as well. The negotiating of contracts and working with different clients and things like that. It was really neat that they allowed me to kind of start that position and kind of grow that position for someone else later down the line, because it taught me a lot about myself and kind of what my goals are, what I want to do. I may not work for this company forever, and that's okay, but I want to be able to learn everything that I can along the way. And I feel like they've done a great job at helping me with all of that. And so as time went on, we decided to open up 2 new restaurants. We originally just started with Flight and Southern Social, so we got a lot busier, had a lot more plans going on. So they asked me to go over and help get Coastal Fish Company open. So decided to go over there and help them with that. And that was really neat as well. Like I said, I started out at Southern Social 3 months in. So yes, I kind of got to see a little bit of everything going on with opening a restaurant, but being able to go to Coastal Fish Company and be able to see it from the ground up, all of it, from the painting of the walls to picking out the silverware, all of those little details and important things. It was really nice to be able to just work as a team. The owners were really good at working with the managers and finding out what we thought would work best as well. And just always, like I said, just getting 1% better every single day. Our company, that's one of our mission statements. It's what we talk about every single day in our pre-services. If you get 1% better every single day, in 100 days, you're going to be better at whatever your small goal was. And working together as a team with that is just extremely crucial in this industry, especially with the pandemic going on. So us personally, we ended up having to shut down our restaurants whenever everything kind of hit off, and we ended up opting to still offer curbside delivery free delivery as well as curbside pickup orders. So that was something that at first, we're like, okay, what are we going to do? Like, how is everyone else doing this? We've got to make sure we're following the CDC protocols, the Shelby County Health Department protocols, keeping up with every single mandate that they put out. Because you never really know when the next one's going to be. So always trying to stay on top of that has been really, really crucial. We got a ton of phone calls in the beginning asking, are you still going to be open? If you are, what are you doing in order to stay open? Our guests were extremely concerned. They still, wanted to eat out and support local restaurants. So we did everything we could. We got together. All of our people who were working in the restaurants, we had a handful of managers, so we were able to really work hard and implement all and everything that we could in order to make that happen. So we got a team together of servers and bartenders and food runners who would come in and they would deliver the orders to the houses, and we would just do everything we could. Rolling back into getting the restaurants open, it's a lot different than before. We're having to wear gloves, wash our hands constantly, making sure that every single thing is sanitized and cleaned and prepared for the next guest. And it seems like a lot, and we're just blessed to be able to still be open and still have the opportunity to be there for them in these hard times. So kind of been a long road, but yeah, it's been great. Like I said, I've just learned a lot from this company with our mission statement of just coming prepared, being professional, and creating raving fans. Just always going above and beyond for our guests as well as our employees, making sure we're taking care of them as well through these times.
So let me interject here for a moment. You sound like you're a real career food and beverage person.
Yes.
This is going to be your deal for the next 35 years, huh?
Yes, seems like it. I really enjoy what I'm doing. And like I said, with this company, especially being able to grow and knowing that here down the road, when everything gets back open, we're planning on opening more restaurants and more, and just kind of seeing what all we can do and how we can be there for the city of Memphis and maybe even other cities in the future, hopefully. So
Now you've done your share, I would assume, you've done your share of shift work.
yes.
So you work nights, holidays, weekends,
Yes. So
whatever, whatever it takes.
yes, when we opened Southern Social, we decided as a company to open for all of the holidays. So we were open for Easter, Mother's Day, Father's Day, Thanksgiving, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, New Year's Eve. We were open for all of it. And it was something that to a lot of people seemed really hard, and some people may not have fully understood that decision. But it was also really special to our guests, and to be able to hear the stories and just how thankful they were to, you know, be able to come out somewhere, you know, people who may not have their spouse anymore and may not have a place to go or anything to do. So it's really heartfelt to be able to be there for them through that. But yes, I have been there through all the holidays, long nights, long shifts, but it is all worth it in the end.
Now, the other interesting part of your restaurant group for people that don't know is that the Flight Restaurant Group has got two other restaurants. You've got Flight and you've got Porch and Parlor.
Yes, we have Porch and Parlor in Midtown. We have Flight Restaurant and Wine Bar downtown, us Coastal Fish Company in Shelby Farms Park, and then Southern Social Dining and Hospitality in Germantown.
And of course, Flight has been named now you clarify this for us, but Flight has been named a top 10 or top 12 restaurant in the U.S.?
Yes, that is correct.
In the entire country?
In the entire country through TripAdvisor. So it is an extremely huge accomplishment to be able to say that they have that achievement and award, and they're extremely proud of it. They've got it hanging up on their wall, and they talk about it all the time. And Southern Social has received many awards as well through the Memphis Most and things like that. They've been awarded Best Date Night, Best New Restaurant back whenever they first opened. Flight's been awarded Best Fine Dining, Best Wine List, all of those sorts of things. So it's really neat to be a part of all of that as well.
And I don't want to jinx your rising career, but it appears that your next step might be general manager of of your own store or something like that.
Possibly, it could be. They've got a lot of plans going on right now, so maybe possibly something with catering or something of that nature is what I'm maybe hoping for. Or like you said, possibly a higher up position in management. I'm just kind of keeping my eyes open. I'm still very young, so just still being able to grow in any opportunity that I'm given within the restaurant, you know, being able to go back and help out in the kitchen when need be and run expo and things like that. So it's really nice to kind of see a little bit of everything. That way I kind of have a better idea of what I want to do next.
Okay. Any questions for Sarah before we move to Vinny? Okay, Vinny, you're up, my friend.
Hi, yes.
Oh, sorry, Landon, you got something?
Yes, I do. Just a quick question. Did you ever want to work at a hotel, or like you love restaurants specifically?
So it's not something that I've never thought about, I'll say that, but I only thought about it maybe once or twice about working in a hotel. And it's not because I have anything that I'm just like, absolutely no, this is my reason. It's just, I really enjoy food and beverage. I like the fast pacedness of it, kind of, you know, not knowing what's going to come next, kind of playing out the night with a floor plan. You know, right now we're averaging about 250, 300 guests a night for our dinner services, and then 250 to 400 guests on a weekend evening. So that as well, with my job, I kind of work directly with the greeters. So being able to help them and navigate all of that, it's just something that I'm extremely passionate about. And I just feel like it's kind of how my brain works the best. So right now, I think, yes, I'm just solely a food and beverage girl.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for asking. And thank you all so much for listening.
Anything else for Sarah? Okay, Vinny, you're on, man.
All right, so guys, it was a little different for me. I'm kind of on a different side. I did food and beverage, but it's not my thing. So I'm more of an operations guy. I started off at the Western Memphis Bill Street when I was 19 years old as a dishwasher. And I moved up from a dishwasher all the way to the manager position. Working as a dishwasher, I was working. So the Westin is across the street from the FedEx Forum. The Westin is the home for all the NBA teams that play the Grizzlies. So when it would be events going on at the FedEx Forum, I would be the one across. I would be the dishwasher in the kitchen working that. So it kind of got me used to working fast paced. Um, After working in the back of the house, though, I started to notice things in the front of the house that I would like to do. So I moved on to the host position, and that's where my communication skills started to grow, and I started to realize I like making connections with people, and having a good experience in the restaurant, and that led to me serving in the restaurant also. So working as a host, some days servers wouldn't come up to work. That's how I learned to serve. They had me taking orders. I learned how to set silverware and do things like that. Um, that was actually important for me to move on to my next position. I moved on to in-room dining. I started doing room service in the hotel, and that's where I was actually serving the players one-on-one, serving some different celebrities or different guests, and getting to know. There are guests that stay at the hotel now that I still remember when I was 21 years old. So that's kind of amazing to see that. And then I went on to night audit at the front desk. So I was going to school at the University of Memphis full time while I was doing all this. This consisted of very long hours, and I had to learn and pay attention in school, and I had to also do the same thing at work. So when I moved on to night audit, the goal was to have this job because I wanted to, I thought it would be better to work from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. I thought I would get more rest. I thought I would be able to work with it better. I was wrong. Um, I had days I would get off work at 7 a.m., go straight to school, sleep in my car, and go straight to class. It was just some wild stuff. Um, After working working night audit, I would say this: working night audit prepared me for my managing role more than anything because I was pretty much the manager on duty working night audit, all by myself, downtown on Bill Street. Lots of homeless people, just different things. But also working night audit actually let me learn the system, the PMS system we use called Lightspeed. This started to tell me about groups we had in house, how to check in guests, it's just so many different things I learned working night audit. After night audit, I became the supervisor of the front desk, and working as a supervisor is where I felt like I became a leader. I was doing a lot of training. I was doing a lot of all shifts. I started to take that responsibility of I had to work no matter what. And I graduated from the University of Memphis in 2018. Flashback to 2014, 2016, I graduated from Southwest Tennessee Community College. I'm sorry, it was 2014. 2014, I graduated from Southwest Tennessee Community College. And Southwest is actually, I went to a job fair at Southwest. I skipped this. I went to a job fair at Southwest. The Westin was there, and that's how I got my job, from a job fair at Southwest. I didn't know anything about the hospitality industry. I didn't know what a dishwasher was. I've never did it before. It was my first job. So the Westin is my only job I ever had, and now I'm the manager at the hotel, and I do different things. Sarah, you know about this. Discipline employees, employee write-ups and stuff like that. I do payroll. Pretty much I'm managing the entire team. And it's a lot of responsibility that falls on my position as the guest services manager because I have to respond to every guest issue. There's a lot of stuff that comes with it. I'm like the main contact for all groups that come in. It's just a lot of responsibility, but I love it. Working in the hospitality industry has been the best thing that ever happened to me for a person that started off in school that didn't know what he wanted to do. I think the hospitality industry I mean, this is something I want to do, and I want to continue to grow in it. Before COVID, we were sold out every night, oversold some nights. And Mr. Rohn, this is crazy. Like, I mean, every single night I would walk somebody every night, and walking the guests is not fun.
I've been walked before, but not by you guys, by other hotels.
Yeah, and walking the guests is not fun. But so crazy how it's just been an entire flip flop of, you know, since March. It's just been crazy. All the managers at the hotel that I'm currently working at, our salaries were cut 25%. And it was only 13 of us from March until August until we started hiring people back. Until occupancy starting to come back up. It's been very, very hard this year. The hardest thing I ever had to do in my life. I mean, I don't think anything can get harder than this. Sarah, I know this was hard for you too. Laying off employees, the hardest thing I've ever had to do. It was a position I've never been in before. I just didn't know how to say it. You know, some people need their jobs and everything. At the time, I didn't know unemployment was going to be so amazing, but I didn't know they were going to get paid so much in unemployment, so which was good. But I'm thinking next year everything's going to turn around spring. We're actually getting the NBA back in December. December 10th, we think the preseason is going to start, and they're going to come back to our hotel. And they actually gave us 15% of our salary back today. So that was good news for me today. I got that good news, but for all of you guys in the hospitality industry, especially you, Landon, I love what you're doing. I think it's important while you're in school to start working in the hospitality industry, because you can graduate school with your bachelor's degree, but with no experience, you won't be ready for a managing role. I believe networking is also crucial. Get to know everybody, get to know your teachers. Mr. Rohn, I have been interviewed by so many people from the Chemist Wilson School, for example, Wayne Tabor, Craig Marshall, just a lot of different people that I've met have gotten me interviews at different hotels for assistant general manager's position, accounting positions at different hotels. So it's important to network also, guys, just, you know, and I mean, I can't stress this enough. I know a lot of people that also graduate and they start in the industry. When they graduate, you know, thinking they're going to be managers, and they just quit. So you have to work your way up, and you have to learn, and you have to be willing to put in that time. There were a lot of times where working as a kitchen steward, where I was like, man, this job sucks. And I was looking at the office and see my manager sitting down. My manager doesn't do nothing. That's what I would think. Well, the manager actually does a lot more work than you think. I mean, having to meet budgets and, you know, cut out. I mean, it's just so much that comes with managing that I wasn't aware of when I actually became a manager. But I love everything that I do. And I think all of you guys that are in the hospitality industry, Memphis is growing. We have a Lowe's hotel coming downtown. The city is growing. I think everybody should stay in the industry and be patient, but go ahead and start off as a front desk agent at least. Or, you know, start off working in the restaurant industry or something and get that experience, because that's the only way you're going to grow in this industry is with experience.
What questions do we have for Vinny? I know there's some questions out there.
I have a question real quick. You're getting your master's, is that correct?
Yes, sir. I'm in grad school now. Yes, sir.
So I guess my question is, what's getting you motivated, like, for school? Like, what, I mean, I know I want to keep on doing school and everything, but for you?
Honestly, a few semesters ago was my first time speaking to Mr. Rohn's class. And when I was speaking to the class, there was something about it. I don't know. It's something that really grabbed me into probably actually considering teaching I'm considering becoming a teacher on the side. I want to stay in the hospitality industry.
Well, you can
But
do what you can do what I do.
Yeah, I'm considering teaching. So that's the really real reason I've got back in grad school. I'm thinking that I may end up going back to get my degree in business or something after I get my master's. Also, though, but I'm not sure. But I'm not getting a PhD. Don't have to worry about that. That ain't happening.
You're not going to switch career
I'm
paths.
not getting a doctorate now. I'm not doing that.
Why you got effort to do a PhD?
Yeah, but I really want. I mean, anything I can do to help. I have business cards. When we do start back hiring, when I start back interviewing, I definitely will make sure to reach out to the Chemist Wilson School to get
Oh, yeah,
candidates.
please.
But I really am stressing that everybody, Ali, Fatuma, Stefan, Landon, all of y'all should get in this hospitality industry while you're young, because I've been in since I'm 19. I'll be 26 next year, and it's been amazing. I've learned so much, and there's a lot of things you can do, different things. Corporate Marriott, corporate Hilton, task force. You see what Landon's doing. He has a job in Pigeon. I forgot the name of it.
Pigeon Forge.
Yeah, Pigeon Forge. Okay. But I mean, it's really the hotel industry. I'm sorry, the hospitality industry is a lot more than just front desk. Cruise lines, food and beverage. There's just Airbnbs. There are so many different things. I mean, I never even thought about the international airport as hospitality, but yeah, that's definitely hospitality. And there's a whole lot of money in that. Enterprise, all that stuff. There are different positions in here for all of us to do. So you guys keep your head up and, stay with it. Stick with this industry.
I have a question for you.
Go ahead.
What advice would you give to a senior who's about to graduate in a few weeks?
Oh, are you graduating in a few weeks?
Yes, sir.
Okay, congrats, John. So, John,
Thank
I
you.
would like to actually reach out to me via email if you're interested in working in the hotel industry.
Okay.
Again, I didn't even mention event planning. I didn't mention sales. There's so many different things. But I would definitely recommend. Do you have any hotel experience?
Yes, sir. I used to work for the Peabody.
Oh, that's perfect. You work
Well,
for my man, Doug.
Yes, sir.
Where's my man Doug? Okay. I would definitely. I think you should try to reach out to get a supervisor role. Once you got your degree, once you work the supervisor role for like 6 months,
Mhm.
You'll be ready for a manager position. You just need to make sure you have something. You need to have some type of leadership on your background.
Okay.
How long did you work at the Peabody?
For a little over the year, I kind of did like a cycle. I would move from bellman to concierge to valet, but mainly the valet. But it was my manager who I was able to talk to, and he was able to put me in those roles, in those situations that I wasn't in before that, because I was very used to the valet position. So I asked him, can I try out a bellman or a concierge or front desk maybe? So it was very nice.
Valet is definitely good for customer service. Hold on, I had a big burp. I'm sorry. But I think I want you to stick around full service. I'm a really big guy on full service. Limited service is nothing wrong with limited service hotels, but full service hotels to me are where you're going to have a bigger opportunity to grow, have more positions. Usually at limited service hotels, they have, they stop at front office manager, then the general manager or something like that. But at my job, for example, we have a guest services supervisor, and I'm the guest services manager, but I have a guest services director. We have a director of every department. So I think if you were to get to like a bigger hotel, that's like, for example, the Sheraton is a good hotel to look at. Us is a good hotel to look at, and the Peabody's not bad. Peabody's actually a good hotel. But I'm pretty sure you're probably looking for something different now.
Well, right now I got a new job because of what's been going on recently, and with what I've been able to get was I was starting out as a warehouse associate at Amazon. So last weekend was my first weekend, and it was good. I enjoyed it. I'm doing the night shift because it pays a little bit more. I just got to get sleep during the daytime, so I make sure that I'm, up and at it, ready to go. But right now, that's where I'm at.
So I'm gonna drop my email in the chat, and
Okay.
any of you guys need a job or anything, just reach out to me. I'm pretty sure that we will be hiring around January because of the NBA coming back at our property. we're gonna need some help. So
Okay.
that's my email right there, and you guys can send me your resume and your name and contact information. I will be reaching out to whoever is interested in that.
And I'm going to include my email for you all as well. Not sure if anyone's interested in the food and beverage industry, but we are hiring for all 4 of our restaurants right now. So if you live near a certain location or if you're more interested in one or the other, you can still contact me for any of the other restaurants as well. So I'll include that in the chat for y'all.
Yeah, where Sarah works at Flight, Southern Social, and Coastal Fish Company, they really do believe in promoting within. Everybody I've pretty much met from that company has been amazing person. Like Virginia, I love Virginia.
Love Virginia. Oh
I
my
hope she gets
gosh.
better. I heard she's not feeling good, but man, it's make sure you get work for a company that promotes within. And from what I heard, Peabody doesn't do that a lot.
Yeah.
From what I heard. So definitely make sure you put in the time for a company that's going to do that for you. I didn't have a clue. When I first started off in the industry, I didn't think I would, be a manager. That wasn't never the goal, but it just happened from me staying over time. But definitely try to get with a company and work with that, work with somebody in human resources that will work with you. Also, John, if you did, there are actually valet managing positions too. So
Really?
yeah.
Well, I'll send my resume over to you then.
Yeah, for sure. And we're actually going to be hiring valet drivers. So if you're interested in doing valet,
I did that for the Peabody too.
in our property, you'll be able to make some good tips because the NBA players here, they tip pretty good. So you'll like that. And it'll be a good experience for you. Just don't ask for autographs.
I actually, when I was 13, I went to the Jingle Bell Ball at the Westin actually, and I got LeBron James' signature on a $10 bill.
Wow.
He wouldn't take a picture with me, but he would sign my $10 bill. That's all I had. I didn't have anything else, so I kept it.
That had to be like that had to be an experience right there.
Mm-hmm. It was. We were eating at the restaurant with a couple of our friends, and I was 13 years old, so we were excited. So it was really cool. The Cavaliers were playing the Grizzlies that night.
Are most people in this class freshmen, Mr. Ron?
Well, most of them are first of all, Vinny, we've only got 9 this semester.
Wow. Because this class, Sarah, is usually have about 20, at least 20 people in it, 25 people.
Last semester we had 30.
Yeah, I remember when we spoke, it was me, Jean Marie, and Jessica from Ruth Chris last time.
That's right.
It was a nice amount of people in that class. It's crazy. I guess COVID shot the class numbers down everywhere. I thought grad school was just like that. I didn't know it hit everybody in chemistry.
No, it hit us pretty hard. The other thing is that this class is really not conducive to Zoom.
Mm-hmm.
The speakers that we've had, and of course all my inventory of people that I talk to, really want to be in person. And the Zoom,
that too.
yeah, and like people like yourself, the Zoom really kind of puts up somewhat of a barrier, and that's been a little difficult to overcome.
Mm-hmm.
But what are you gonna do? This is the way it is now.
Nothing we can do right now.
And actually, today is our last class. We're finished before Thanksgiving this semester.
Yeah, I finish all of my classes pretty much next week also.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been an interesting semester, Sarah. If you're thinking about coming back to school, you can always do that.
I mean, I'm probably not right now. Probably not.
Let's Vinny, if you don't mind, let's switch back over to Sarah for a minute. I'm interested in the future of the restaurant business. Now, Sarah, you said that your customer count has been pretty good over recent weeks. And do you see that continuing, or are you going to focus more on takeout and curbside and delivery and that kind of thing?
So when we first back opened up the restaurants, we decided to continue our curbside delivery, but not do or curbside pickup, excuse me, but not the delivery. Just since most of our staff would be inside the restaurant needing to work the shifts and things like that. Because at first, not everyone felt comfortable enough to come back and work inside of the restaurant. For the most part, most of the staff did, but not everyone did. So some of them continued to stay home until they felt more comfortable. So running with more of a skeleton crew kind of get started. We continued the curbside pickup, and rolling now into today. We are still doing the curbside pickup. The restaurants are just a little too busy though, so we've had to kind of cut back on our curbside pickup, unfortunately. So right now we're just offering it through the week, but we're offering it for lunch and dinner. I guess that's another thing I should have mentioned before. We kind of ended up adjusting our hours a little bit. So we're the only restaurant in our company that decided to open up for lunch 7 days a week post the quarantine, just in order to get more guests in the building, and that way they can still experience everything too. Because with our location, it's kind of a prime spot, especially with everyone when everyone was at home. More people were in the park with their families and things like that. So we decided to end up opening up for lunch. And we thought we would be slow for it in the beginning, but it kind of hit off right at first. And so we've been busy for lunch and dinner every single day. We're still booking up about 2 weeks in advance. So as of right now, I'd say that things are still looking up going forward, and still looking positive as far as guest count and cover count and staying busy goes.
So you're quite optimistic about the whole situation.
For the way things have been going for us so far, yes, we are still very optimistic with everything. Something that we decided as a company just this year is we are going to end up closing the restaurants for Thanksgiving Day and Christmas Day in order for our employees to be able to be home with their families, especially after everything that we've been through this year with COVID and the pandemic. So that's going to be really nice. And we've ended up coming up with an idea to offer a take-home family style meal. So that's something we're going to be doing this year, available for pickup. It's all going to be prepared with just some reheating instructions for our guests to be able to pick up the 2 days before Thanksgiving. So things are still looking up for us. Our guests are still calling. Phones are still ringing off the hook. So as far as we know, we think things are still looking up here for us in the restaurant industry.
Now, what do you hear with your contacts and your network about food and beverage positions, either through a large chain restaurant management training program or fast food? Do you hear anything about those areas, those specific areas?
Not too much, no. I've kind of been trying to keep up a little bit with how everyone is hiring right now. And for the most part, as it's looking, a lot of restaurants aren't really hiring for the most part. A lot of the stuff I'm seeing are some hotel positions here and there, and a lot of other kind of remote type jobs. But as far as the restaurant industry goes, I haven't really been seeing much of that.
Okay. But you like the direction which you're headed. That sounds
Yes.
yes. Yeah. Good for you. When are you getting married?
We're getting married March 20th of next year. As long as everything stays on track the way it is right now.
Where's my invite? It's all right.
Hey, a lot of them still haven't even gone through the mail, so who knows?
Now, I would assume that is the virus, you had to alter some plans because of the virus, or are you're just all ahead full?
So yeah, some of my plans have kind of been shot down, but for the most part, we're kind of just looking at it, positive mental attitude as much as possible. As long as it's me and my fiance and our marriage license, it's going to be okay. But it's definitely been a lot more difficult than I ever thought it was going to be to plan a wedding. Can't have a dance floor. If I do, it's got to be outside in open air. But in March in Memphis, who knows what the weather's going to be like. So could be snowing, could be sunny and 75. So just kind of me being a planner and wanting to be prepared, it's kind of really getting to me not knowing and kind of having to take things day by day. But
Sure.
I know it's all going to work out in the end.
Well, Congratulations to you. What else do we have for, Sarah? Anything? Any questions, comments? Vinny, how about you, my friend? Are you all done? Anything else to add to anything?
Well, I just want everybody to take our advice and, start in the industry. That's just the only thing I can stress, because I just have a lot of friends since I've graduated in 2018 that either are doing something else or never started in the industry. So, I just want to stress that, but that's it for me. I look forward to seeing your next class next semester.
Anything else for Vinny at all? Well, it has been difficult. I know I've been doing this for many years. And of course, I was a industry veteran for 35 years. And telling students that it was a great way to make a living, and then to have this pandemic hit, and then there's no way to earn a living. And hopefully people do not get discouraged, just like you have advocated.
Yeah, that's why I feel like that could happen, because this year just so bad. Like this year has affected everybody. Like I want other people to understand it affected sports. It affected, everybody. Even famous athletes have got cuts to their salaries. So I don't want everybody to just think it's just the hospitality industry, It
Right.
happened to everybody.
Right. Well, we thank you, Sarah, and we thank you, Vinny. And it's 5 o'clock, so I think it's time to quit. It's happy hour somewhere.
Well, thank you all so much for having me today and letting me speak on this.
Is it 2 for 1 over at Coastal Fish this afternoon?
Oh, I wish it was. I'm sure they've got a good fresh catch feature tonight, though.
I'll probably have 2 for $80 or something right there. That high restaurant. But I good luck to everybody, and John, reach out to me so I can get you on over here, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, if no one else has anything else, we're out, and this is our last class. So you will hear from me in a few days on a final exam, which will take you all of about 10 minutes. Just ask Vinny. And happy holidays to everybody. And if there's something I can do for you, you've got my email address. So good luck to everyone, and we're out here. Ashi, we're done.
So much,
good night.
everyone.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you, Vinny. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sarah. Thanks, Vinny.
Thank you.
Bye, Landon.
Bye, y'all.